with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono on this beautiful Tuesday. Interestingly, quite chilly and a bit of drizzles here and there. I only hope it pours so that it takes away the dust that had collected all over the place. But we bless the Lord for yet another new day. A very good morning to you, Robert. Good morning.
A lovely morning to you, Julie, and of course our viewer. Thank you very much for waking up with us. Now in Kalangala, that will be on the 24th of June.
Which is tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
People are going to the polls to elect their district woman member of parliament. It is a by-election. That means their former district woman member of parliament, that is Ellen Nachimoli, passed away, and we do remember that sudden death. Now campaigns have been happening. Yesterday we saw the NRM chairperson hit Kalangala to campaign for their flag bearer, and tomorrow they'll be heading to the polls. But also Ugandans are excited, I want to believe, because they'll be going to the polls, just like you said, to elect their LC1 chairpersons. Of course there'll be also LC2 parish and all that, but very critical are LC1s. And don't forget, no academic qualification is required. Therefore, do not undermine this office. I hope you've gotten me clear. No academic qualification is required.
As long as you are just of.
As long as you are Ugandan, a resident of that area, not a born, but a resident of that area, and you're 18 years and above. Now, this does not exclude drunkards. This does not exclude rumpens. This does not exclude the people you've been complaining of that can't read documents, but they're the LC chairpersons. Most of the times, people in the corporate world, people who are educated, shun this office. They want MP, LC5, or district chairpersons, but you shun this office now. Time comes, you need to do something, and your chairman, LC1, comes out, or chairperson, if she's a lady, LC1, comes out and sadists to you. He doesn't understand how things work. Some can't even read very well, but this is the chairperson, a village called Muchizungu, Minister's Village.
But you see, I also think the criteria around who should contest for being a chairperson matters, because in line with the corporate space, as busy as it is, I wonder who you'd expect to take that time off to attend.
You have an executive. You have an executive.
So
and of course with technology today, Julie, it is very easy for me to tell you, take a screenshot of that document, let me read through, then my secretary can stamp on. Then also,
how many really understand the technological language?
No, there are some very, very easy things to do. A chairperson, take a picture.
Not for grassroots people. For you it might be easy.
And for grassroots, when you talk of grassroots, still the corporate persons are not many there. When you go to these villages, Kapchora, where, you're not expecting that there's someone who is working in a bank or, still within their community. They are retired civil servants.
Maybe if it were
for pensioners.
Yeah. I think maybe if the criteria were around retired civil servants or someone retired.
There are those that are doing businesses.
Those would qualify.
I know my friend, he's a doctor, Dr. Samuel Chibundu. He's in Bundibujo. The others that they retired, there are others, they can have time for this. But I hate it, Julie, when I go to a certain village, because there's something we are following up. And when they tell you, Chairman Ikaje, Chairman comes staggering, and you're asking, but this house you have, plus your neighbors, you're discussing something simple, and it's the final man. But he doesn't understand things. But these rich people shunned this office, these civilized people shunned this office, and they let funny characters next to useless be their chairpersons for LC1.
Right, let's have a look at what we have on the local scene this morning.
Well, we begin with Kalangala District. Received the national chairperson of the NRM as he campaigned for Ida Navaiga in the by-election for women member of parliament. Kalangala The venue was at Kibanga Primary School grounds in Kalangala Town Council. Kalangala residents raised 6 key challenges that they want the president to address: increasing the number of ferries to the district hospital, tarmacking inland roads, construction of health center 3s in all the 7 sub-counties of Kalangala, and restrictions on fishing activities. President Museveni pledged to introduce 2 additional ferry services, complementing the existing 2 on the road within the island. Museveni said it will be done since the bigger part of Masaka to the dock point has already been done when it comes to inland roads. Museveni also pledged to elevate Kalangala Health Center 4 to District Hospital. President Museveni was canvassing votes from the people of Kalangala District for the NRM candidate Ida Nabayiga. The Kalangala District by-elections follow the death of the former woman member of parliament Nachimuli Helen, and the election of a new one is slated for Wednesday, the 24th of June, tomorrow. Government has released 56 billion shillings to facilitate the organization of elections for village administrative units across the country. According to the Electoral Commission, verification of residents, compilation of village registers, and updating of women's village registers will take place from the 6th to the 10th of July this very year. During this period, eligible residents will register to participate in elections. The display of village registers will be conducted from the 13th to the 14th of July this year between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. at designated venues. The exercise will enable residents to verify their details and correct any errors before the final registers are approved. Nomination for candidates for LC1 chairperson and the 5 members of the Village Women Committee will take place from the 15th to the 19th of July this year. Candidates must be residents of the village and at least 18 years of age. No academic qualifications are required. Campaigns for Village Women Committee elections will run from the 20th to the 22nd of July this year, while polling scheduled for 23rd July this year. Voting will be conducted in line and by lining behind a candidate of your choice. Campaigns for LC1 chairperson elections will run from the 20th to the 27th of July this year, while polling will take place on the 28th July 2026. For LC2 and Women Council elections, the display of parish and ward registers will take place from the 30th to the 31st of July this year. Candidates' nominations are scheduled for 3rd August this year, followed by campaigns from the 4th to the 9th of August this year. Polling for women councils at the parish level will take place on the 7th of July this very year, while elections for LC2 chairpersons are scheduled for the 10th of August this year. The National Conference for National Women Council elections will be held on the 23rd to 24th of September. There was heavy security deployment at Machinde Magistrates Court as family, friends, opposition parties, political leaders from PFF, NUP, UPC, FDC, Democratic Front, and Ecological Party waited Lukwago's production in court formation of his case and bail application ruling. Police and prisons oversaw the security at court, presided over by Magistrate Basemera Sara. Lukwago was later produced to court. Lukwago's defense team was led by Medad Rubega Segona, who first thanked Zira prison authorities for heeding to last week's court instructions and granting necessaries to Lukwago. Indeed, in assistance in his medical condition. According to Segona, efforts to improve Lukwago's condition, including provision of an orthopedic mattress and psychotherapy treatment, have yielded little success. Council Segona presented that Lukwago suffers from an abbreviated spine disc condition which can't be managed by the prison health facility. Segona cited concerns over likely exposure to tuberculosis due to the coldness of the TB ward. Lukwago's defense cited all concerns, requested for court to grant bail to the accused, and in the alternative order his immediate transfer from Makshan Bay Hospital to Mulago Referral Hospital. Chief Magistrate Attorney Barbara Masinde prayed for the bail application when giving rulings was that court considers the comprehensive written submissions which both parties filed over the weekend, not the fresh oral submissions tendered in by the defense team. The trial judge adjourned the court proceedings to 2 p.m. when she would rule on bail application. When court reconvened, fresh information indicated she was to meet both sides in her chambers, not the court hall off camera. After the engagement, Lukwago was whisked off back to Luzira prison. Meanwhile, the President, Kenya Law Society, and a delegation from East African Law Society attended court in solidarity of Lukwago. They condemned Martha Karua's alleged deportation after she was reportedly denied entry at Entebbe International Airport. Well, with those stories, we come to the end of our local stories. Let's see what Julie has for us when it comes to the international scene.
And Robert, before we actually even get into the international scene, somebody comes through and says, good morning. My question is, some schools in Kisoro are charging us 100,000 for S4 mocks in this form, and is this from UNEB? They're asking. And so far I've paid 220,000 Uganda shillings for UNEB. They are wondering, is there a chance that you have information on this?
Well, now we must understand, is it a government school or a private school?
Right.
That is when I can give my submission to that.
All right. Please do share the detail of that. But in the meantime, allow us to take you to what we have on the foreign scene. And we're starting off, of course, with what's really flooding the foreign scene. Away from US and Iran, it's now Sir Keir Starmer. Sir Keir Starmer has said he will quit as Labour Party leader, paving way for a contest to decide a new Prime Minister. Speaking at Downing Street, Sir Keir Starmer said he accepted he was not best placed to lead Labour into the next general election, and he had informed King Charles III of his decision to step down. He added that he had asked Labour's governing body to set out a timetable to replace him, with nominations opening on 9th July and ending by the summer recess on 16th July. He said if there was a contest, then a new leader would be in place before Parliament returned in September, and he would do everything he could to ensure an orderly transition of power. Sir Keir said he would remain as Prime Minister until leadership contest was complete. He would, he said, also give his successor my full and unequivocal support, quote unquote, knowing that they will inherit a Britain that is far stronger and fairer than the one I inherited 2 years ago. Andy Burnham is regarded by many as the fourth runner to replace Sir Keir after he secured an emphatic win over his Reform UK rival in last week's Makerfield by-election. Robert, do you know Larry the Cat? The cat that has been at Downing Street and served under a couple of prime ministers since 2011. The only constant lately. Anyways, let's move on to matters in Qatar. Sad news there. At least 13 people have been killed and 66 injured after an explosion at Qatar's largest gas facility. The city's main liquefied natural gas processing site suffered a technical accident in Ras Lafan Industrial Zone on Sunday night, the Interior Ministry said, with the city's skyline turning orange because of the explosion. Qatar's Energy Minister Saad Sherida Al-Kabi said the explosion would not affect the country's exports, adding this was an accident and not sabotage or hostile in nature. The Ras Laffan port is the largest artificial harbour in the world and has the world's largest LNG export facility. It was targeted by Iranian strikes earlier this year. The blast on Sunday rattled windows and was felt across central Doha, panicking residents more than 70 kilometers from Ras Laffan. Sherida Al-Kabi added the government was working on Bazan local gas supply facility. He added there was no environmental risks. However, the energy minister said it would be difficult to determine when operations would resume. Plant productions was intentionally completely stopped since December 2025 due to the urgent maintenance requirements. It was first restarted again only 2 days ago, Sherida Al-Kabi said. Now on to the African continent. When guests gathered at a church in the southwest Nigerian city of Ibadan at the weekend, they knew they were witnessing something rare. A pair of twin brothers, Taiwo and Kehinde Oguntoye, were marrying twin sisters, Taiwo and Kehinde, at Iran in a joyous joint ceremony. The Yoruba people, who predominate in southwestern Nigeria, are known for having an unusually high number of twin butts, but it's not every day two sets of twins tie the knot. We know many twins, but this marriage feels like it was arranged by God. We have always dreamed of marrying twins, Taiwo Oguntoye told BBC Yoruba on his wedding day. With God's grace, we pray for twins in our first and second children. That is our heart's desire. Twins are considered a blessing in Yoruba culture, and their names are predestined. The older child is called Taiwo, meaning the one that tests the world, while the younger is called Kehinde, meaning the one that came after. The Oguntoye Adediran love story began a decade ago when all four were studying at the University of Ibadan. And that brings us to the end of what we have in the day on the global scene this morning. Don't know if we can look at one daily or two to complete what updates we have this morning. Robert, what headline does the New Vision have?
Well, HIV drugs, government gets 19,000 more doses. Museveni campaigns in Kalangala. Commission sets date for LC elections. Chaotic scenes delay Lukwago bail ruling. Still in the Daily Monitor. EC plans 500,000 posts in LC polls. Mbara Airport dream runs into viability. Headwinds and concerns over Lukwago's health after bail ruling denied.
Right. Thank you very much for those updates. Now, in the interest of time, let's have a short break. Yes,
but Judy, before that short break,
yes, please.
There's a gentleman who raised a concern. He expects an answer from us. Let me do that as quick as I can.
Okay, you had asked for a bit of detail, which he hasn't given us.
But I'll do that even without the detail.
All right.
Now, I forgot the name, but government, if your child or they're in government schools, government is paying registration. So if it is a public school, a government, that is UPE, USE, or UPET, that is post O-level education and training programs, government pays their registration. You shouldn't pay for anything. Now, if it is a private arrangement, for PLE registration, you'll have to pay 34,000. That is for PLE. Then you will have to pay 164,000 for UCE and 186,000 for UACE. That is senior 4. You're paying 164,000 registration for senior 4. Senior 6, 186,000, and for PLE P7 you're paying 34,000 if they're in primary or secondary but private institutions. For those in government, you're not paying a penny. That is the official amount of money.
All right, I hope you have got your answer, and thank you so much for choosing us to be your medium of trustworthy information. For now, let's have a short break. We'll be right back with another conversation. Good morning.